Thank you very much once again for staying with us. We have another very interesting person in the studio. Of course, he is an artist, he's a singer and also a songwriter. Very talented, but of course you'll be hearing that from him when he's now on your screen. Of course, this person is Fizzy. Fizzy, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. Now, Fizzy, you are in the studio. This is an opportunity for my viewers to get to know who Fizzy is and what exactly Fizzy is doing. So talk to us. Who is Fizzy?
I'm Fizzy. Fizzy has to do with a lot of names. You know, Fizzy has to do with Olamide. Fizzy has to do with Ibiyomi. Fizzy has to do with Temitope. And this is how I come about Fizzy. And right from my school days, like my friends, my colleagues, they'd be like, man, guy, you're Fizzy too much, you're Fizzy too much. And I started singing, and when I met one of my friends, my colleagues, his name is Mujed, then back in this. So it took me to the studio and we had to do something then. And from there, it was just like, Fizzy, Ole Fizzy, Ole Fizzy, Ole Fizzy. Then I just felt like, okay, let me go with Fizzy. Then everybody, then it's boom. So they call me Fizzy, 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 Fizzy.
Okay, so I like the fact that you were able to take us back in time when that name started and when your career, at first started. Now, that name Fizzy, you said it's coined from the fact that they saw that you have that Fizzy in music, and it also represented a whole lot of names.
Yes.
Right. Now, so the brand Fizzy, when professionally did you start doing music?
I started, let's say, 2013.
2013, that's a long time.
Yes. I started with my brother behind the camera. So it was...
Did you start as a singer or a songwriter?
No. I used to be this church boy. I played drum set in the church.
Everybody church boy.
I play drum sets in the church, and I'm also a choir. So I sing in the church, but I don't have this opportunity going to the studio then to do something. So it was just I got encouraged.
And let me cut you. When you say you started in church, were you drumming?
Yes.
You were drumming.
I played drum set.
So you're good in with equipment.
Yeah.
Wow.
But no, I'm not an expert.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
But I still do. I still do listen stuff.
Okay. So after the church, where else did you go to really advance your career?
After church, I'm also an hype man, so I anchor events, like MC for every event. Okay. That's not my professional though, but at least I'm a big vibe, and a whole lot of people also knows me as Jiggy Vibes. So that's actually the name of my coming EP. So I'm just working on it.
Okay, you're working on it.
Yes.
Big Vibes.
Yes, Jiggy Vibes.
Jiggy Vibes. Okay, so like you said, you started in the church, but you never had the opportunity to get into studio.
Yeah.
So how did you now get into studio? What were some of those, support you had that really brought you to where you are today?
Let me just cut it short.
Okay,
it's actually a long story.
Yeah.
I met with Mujed that year. I met with Don Tizzy. So Don Tizzy is the owner of the studio. Okay. He mix. He's a good guy. He mix. So I think I did the song then, and then he asked me before I started recording. He said, "Have I been in the studio before?" I said no, and then it was like, this song go hard. So after we recorded, it was not like, no guy, not like you don't even enter studio
so
before.
That fear was not even there.
No, like I was looking at someone who brought me there.
Okay.
And my mindset was, even if I make mistake, they will correct me. So I was determined, like, okay, we'll do this. And at the end of the day, it was fun and everybody was happy, and that's how I became this popular local guy then.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So what are some of those? Okay, I understand you had that support, people helping you then when you had no opportunity to hit the studio. So what are some of those? How were you able to deal with some of the challenges as somebody who was just up and coming as an artist?
Let me say it's very easy.
Okay.
It's very easy.
Talk to us about it.
Because I say very easy because it's going to be easy. So then I still work with Don Tizzy because he's a guy I can just go with. This is 5K, 7K, and we just do this. But it got to a time things went the other way around, so I wasn't able to even feed myself, not even talk of going to the studio to make a song. So I just relax. Sometimes I do a lot of freestyles, I write songs, and that's what I just do. And with the help of my brother also, my brother IBC Entertainment. So sometimes I go for shows, sometimes he'll be the one to do this and that. So it's actually my senior brother. So that's how I've been moving, and I'm just working on my stuff, slow and steady. I'm not rushing. So, and I'm still working on my sound. I want to know how people feel about my sound from the previous ones they've been listening to.
All right, so that's interesting. I like the fact that you're a very, patient person. You want to see yourself make that progress till you get to where you're going. Now, so, talk to us in writing songs, because I was just wondering in my heart how you were able to write songs, you still be the artist, you still do other things concerning, the craft, because of course you also have to put it on platforms so that people can, access these things. You still have to go out there to source for shows. How do you do this all alone, all of these extremes? Is it not too much a load for you? Why not give it to somebody to write your songs? Then you just know that, okay, my own duty is just to, go to the studio and produce it.
For now, I believe it's not easy for someone like me to request for a song that I have to pay for. I have to pay for it. Then at the end of the day, I have to pay for the studio section, and there's not really this capital to do everything. And then mine is just, once I listen to a beat, I have my own vibes, and I just vibe to it. And if I'll be like, okay, this is okay, maybe I'm good to go with, I'll just call my producer and be like, GHS, I want to see you, this and that. And he'll be like, okay, now I'm going to work now. Then what he feels about it, we do some corrections, and he'll be like, if he wants me to go back and be like, okay, Fizi, sit down, write this thing, then I'll work on it. That's how I make my music.
All right, so in writing your song, in conceptualizing ideas, because writing of song has to do with you expressing yourself. Now, so how are you able to gather ideas that you put down?
Okay. Like I said before, I was never born with a silver spoon, so I know how it feels where I'm coming from. I'm from Kogi State, from my way to Lagos, all in the name of making a living. So I use my stories, like I express my feelings through my music. And there's a song I did, Bolaji. Okay. Though Bolaji is not my name, and Bolaji is just a character in the song. Okay. But Bolaji is like a workaholic. He does everything
just to survive.
Just to survive. And at the end of the day, he still have to work hard to, like, for his love life, emotional, you know what. So, and everything keeps happening. So, but Bolaji will never stop. Bolaji just keep going.
That's interesting. I'm getting really inspired by your story. Now, talking about writing of songs, do you also write songs for people, or you only concentrate on yourself?
I do.
I do.
But not like put it into writings and.
You don't do that majorly?
No. That's because I've not gotten any request about that. But once if I'm in the studio and someone is making music, or someone just my producer called me like, Fizi, I would like make you jump with this guy, or this guy is good, or I am just back this guy up or hook. So I don't have problem doing that.
All right. For instance, if somebody sends you a request and say they want you to write a song for them, do you have specific people you would say, no, I don't want to write song for this person. Now this one I won't write song for. Or there's something actually you just look at before you write songs in that particular person? How do you work?
To me, I don't have problem writing songs for anybody, for everybody, actually, because if I'm to be in that person's shoes, it's a respect for someone to actually call on me or make a request for me, like for me to write the songs for them. So the only thing I need to is I'll just ask, what is the concept of your, what you want me to deliver, and I'll do it. If you're satisfied, and okay, if you're not. But for now, I believe we all are just striving to make it. So I'll do my parts. Then when it's okay for you, or you feel like, okay, this is good, I need this, then whatever you give me is okay, because we are still trying to make names and all that. So it's different. It's way different from like big artists. Let's say like Wizkid, Davido, and you know, I don't have to even give an amount. I'll just be like, okay, me, Fizzy, writing song for Davido, okay.
All right, so I understand your point. Now, let's talk about the fact that as an artist, it's not easy to do this game. You know, it comes with a whole lot of challenges, right? Yeah. Are you signed to any label at the moment?
No. You know, I made mention earlier about IBC Entertainment. IBC Entertainment has to do with me and my senior brother. We are 3 boys. So I'm the artist, he's my senior brother, he's the manager, I mean the CEO of IBC Entertainment, and I'm also open to a label who is ready to do... I
was about asking that, because when you say IBTC, I was about asking, is it like a record label that indirectly signed you? When I mean indirectly, is your brother, so it's not going to just outrightly want to sign you just like every other label will sign the artist. So they take ownership of whatever you do, they take care of it as far as your music career is concerned. So, which means that you're open to other labels to come in. Now, how do you think that will work? This is a label doing your production, and this is another label eyeing you, saying, we would want you to come. How do you think that will work?
I think it will work perfectly if we all have business mind.
If we are all business minded.
Yes, business minded, because I started with IBC, and everything I do in every songs I make sure there's this IBC in them. So if there's anyone around or any label around who'll be like, okay, I like this guy, let's sign this, okay, we'll just have to see it and talk about it.
All right.
So
we're really pressed for time. Honestly, I would have loved to ask you some more questions, but obviously you will come back some other time, so we'll have this conversation. But before we let you go, what are some of your works that you have on the platforms, streaming platform, that you want people to really, you know, get access to, and your social media platform? Can you just do that within 30 seconds, because we're really pressed for time?
Okay. I have this, my project. It's out on all platforms. Apple Music.
What's the title?
Bolaji. That was Bolaji I was talking about. Bolaji. And if you want to reach out to me on Instagram at I am Fizzy, I am _Fizzy. I mean, and if you want to reach out to me on Twitter, it's Caring Fizzy, and on Facebook, it's He is Caring Fizzy.
Okay, if you love Guy. Anyway, you've heard it from the horse's mouth. He's on all of these platforms, and he has all of his works on these platforms that he has mentioned. So please do him a favor of checking him out and cropping some of those songs, paying for it if possible, so that you can just support this young man. That's about what we have for you today on Star Corner, you know, today being Friday. But of course, the show is not over yet. We'll be switching gears now after this break and bringing you something very interesting. I wouldn't want to let the cat out of the bag. Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back.